What's up, gamers? So, oh no. As you can see, Truman's departure has taken kind of a toll. Basically, the world has just been darker in general. I think literally either that or it's that I have been wearing sunglasses so people don't see me cry. Until now, I took them off because I'm back in his room where everything happened. And where several of these shots were shot. Several of these videos were shot. Today I'd just like to talk about some of the things that remind me of Truman in this room here. The first thing that reminds me of Truman is this doll, who, when I stick my hand up her dress, talks. Truman loved this doll. He had a phase where he would walk around with her and bring her to school. And everywhere he went, to work at Chick-fil-A, and instead of him ever talking, if somebody addressed Truman, he would just kind of point at the doll and have her talk. Because Truman and I had ventriloquism in class when we were, I don't know, 5 years old, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere there. And he did that for several weeks until he realized it was a lot of work and it was harder for him to write because he would, in school he would need a pencil and he would have the little doll, with the pencil. Oh man, this is bringing back memories. And, she would be writing like this, like, hi. Help me is what she wrote. And often, it wouldn't be exactly what Truman was trying to write, and it was just inefficient. So he stopped carrying her around, and I imagine she's been on this floor ever since. We've of course got these are the sunglasses, that I wear on a daily basis too. It's okay. I hear somebody breathing. I think there might be a kid asleep in this room. Anyway, this right here. So it might be a little hard to see what it is at first, but if you look really closely, it's actually a mouth. Truman did this because he was really young actually when he did this. I think he was in 2nd grade or so. He was just thinking a lot about some people he had met, junkies, and this is like their mouths. He just, at that age, he couldn't stop thinking about it, right? It's hard to stop thinking about when you're his age and you see something like this. So this is actually somebody's nostrils up here. That's their nose, and that's their mouth. And this is the effects of drugs on a mouth, is what he called it. He had also a more artsy name for it, but I forgot what that is. But it scared all of the kids in his class out of doing drugs. He was a hero. He was a real hero. We're good. he's kind of fallen apart. But this person here, this monkey, has always had Truman's back. Even when no one else did. You were there. Few people know about Truman's excursions in balloon art, but this was actually one of his many creations. And as you can tell, it is he had a toy kitchen with him at all times. Ever since seeing Tangled, he was convinced that this could save his life, so I always brought it with him. As you can tell, this is a in case you didn't know, Truman was not a Slytherin, but really liked them. Also, Truman was no stranger to music, as we know. So, few people know this, but Truman had kind of an obsession with the Loch Ness Monster. And here it is right here. And Truman actually created this out of balloon art. This is his interpretation of what the Loch Ness Monster probably looked like from the bottom down. A lot of people make it look like, a dinosaur, but Truman, he was like, you know what? It's a sea creature. It's not going to look like a dinosaur because dinosaurs don't swim. It's going to look like probably an octopus or a squid at the bottom. In the balloon art, obviously, it's tied up a little bit, but because how else is it going to swim? It is in the Loch Ness, Loch Ness. Anyway, which Loch Ness means like wet hole, by the way, in German. Last but not least, the sadder part of Truman's history is a bad habit that he really wasn't able to kick. I'm learning now because we see these on the ground. He was an addict. He couldn't stop. This became part of his life. He couldn't live without... Have you ever done this as a kid? Take the Smarties and smoke them? Well, Truman did something worse. Okay, he would line them up on the ground here. Get a good line, right? Yep. And you know what comes next. I see why he liked it. It's hard to stop. But kids, just don't get started, okay? Remember the warning that young Truman gave us. He was in the game, and he knew that he should have gotten out when he had the chance. This was a symbol. This was a cry for help. Don't let them go unnoticed. That's all for today, my feathered friends. We'll see us on the flip side. And remember, the book is blue. Jesus loves you. Do what Truman would do.